Millennial pause, check. Okay, so you don't know me by face or name. My name is Brandon. This is my 2005 Toyota Sequoia, somewhat Overland build. I've wanted to do a build breakdown on this, but I never thought I had enough to do a build breakdown on this. But I came to realize, do we ever really have enough? Or am I ever actually going to be happy with this thing? So, without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start out in the front with some of the cheaper stuff. Start out in the front of the truck. eBay headlight housings. Don't have a link. Hope none of you ask for it. Those tinted yellow fog lights came with the truck. I'm not sure what brand those are. Probably also eBay, but I'll show you in a minute. I've also got the last fit switchback headlight or fog light bulbs. They either have LED or yellow light, and I like to act like I'm cool and do this all the time, so I run them in yellow all the time. We got the Tech Customs TRD style grill with the Raptor lights, because I want to be a Raptor, but I'm not, and I can't afford one. Up at the top of the hood here, we got my aux beam ditch lights with the Tech Customs ditch brackets. This is kind of a just for now setup. Eventually I'd like to do Baja Designs, obviously, but I don't have Baja Designs money, so we went with aux beam. Then I would say the next most obvious part is wheels and tires. The wheels are 17x9 Dirty Life wheels. Never heard of those till I got this truck, so no problems yet. Hope for the best there. Wheels are Kenda Cleaver RTs, kind of like a mix between AT and MT, kind of like a hybrid in between the two. They're tires, you know what I'm saying? Then all tucked away under here are my Freedom Off-Road upper control arms. I had no intention on getting these anytime soon, but I was lucky enough to have, well, if any of you know anything about the first gen Tundras and Sequoias, the lower ball joints are prone to catastrophic failure to the point of almost, I wouldn't say always totaling them, but a very high probability of totaling your car if it fails if you're on the interstate speeds. Anyway, I digress. I was about 5 minutes off the interstate. As I pulled into my driveway, the upper ball joint, of all surprises, completely snapped in half and kind of forced me to upgrade my upper control arms and upgrade my ball joints so that hopefully it doesn't happen again. Move a little bit higher, my Smittybilt 270-degree awning. If you have something with a hatch that opens not like a barn door, just straight up, don't get a 270-degree awning because you won't be able to open your hatch anymore. I somehow talked Smittybilt into sending me this one for free, so I'm not going to complain about it, and I'm going to run it until I can buy something else. Like I said, no complaints. It works fine. It was kind of a weird situation. I reached out to them on Instagram, I believe, and asked if they would send me one, and they said, yeah, of course. They sent it out, and then I never heard from them ever again. So I guess if anything fails, I'll be happy to tell you about it. The most recent addition is my Prinsu roof rack. Everybody says go Sherpa and kind of like the Baja Designs lights. I don't have Sherpa money, so I went Prinsu. Works great, fits great, supports what I needed to support. Previous to the rack, I had the tent, well, I had the awning mounted to factory roof rack. Super sketchy. Every time I deploy my awning, it would sag really bad, bend in the bars. Got the rooftop tent, ditched the awning, put just the rooftop tent on there. Then or I guess not to my knowledge, when I took the rooftop tent off to put the Prinsu rack on, the crossbars that were supporting the tent were starting to bend. So it's a good thing we got that. It's a good thing that was upgraded. And there's my pride and joy, the Sanhema rooftop tent. I was under the influence that, probably shouldn't say under the influence, I was under the impression that I would never have one of these because these are insanely expensive. for a nice one. But luckily there's companies like Sanhema that make ones for lesser people. I also forgot to mention that the whole truck is on a, man, I'm just not realizing how much I cheaped out on everything. This is gonna piss a lot of people off probably. Anyway, it's on a 2.5-inch lift block, the whole thing, or not lift block, coil spacers. Not ideal, but hopefully that will be gone soon. And this will be less of a budget build throughout time, maybe. Then for my last little bits are inside. You're gonna love this if you can see it. I put a little TikTok shop animation light in the trunk, which I'm now noticing in the daylight. You're not gonna be able to see the benefit of this, but there is benefit. Lights up the whole thing very well. It's got a little magnet here that shuts it off when it's closed, triggers it to come on when the hatch opens. So that's pretty cool. And then inside, we've got our Van 44 interior Molly panel. This is cut to specifically fit this window. I've just got a little crappy folding shovel in there, a little hatchet, and a quick detached fire extinguisher because one of my previous vehicles has caught on fire and now I have PTSD. And then I've also got these two pods mounted at the top. I say that these are for lighting up the campsite, but it's really for awful, awful people behind me. And then up here in the front, I've got, I don't remember, I know it was off Etsy. I don't remember the name of the Etsy shop, but this is a 3D printed little mount for the aux beam switch panel. It replaces the sunglass holder, which I guess you could still use it as a sunglass holder if you wanted to. But that's where I got my aux beam. I got so many lights I know. Super cool. So there it is. My 2005 mild overland build Toyota Sequoia. I probably should have labeled this as my budget overland setup. I didn't realize how cheap I was going to sound once I started breaking everything down. But you know, there's some other odds and ends things that you guys probably don't care about, like a little aux beam accessory fuse panel underneath the hood. I'm not going to show you all that crap. But that's where we're at for now. I have a lot more plans, and hopefully you guys follow along and come with me on this journey. That sounded desperate.